Look, good morning, everybody. And, you know, Bill, who else gets a crowd like this on a hot day in July? You've got a lot of friends, and we're so happy to be here for you. And I want to check you, though. It does seem to be a bit of a thankless job, doesn't it? Tax collector? You remember Connecticut's own Mark Twain, he once said, what's the difference between a tax collector and a taxidermist? At least the taxidermist leaves your hide. But it's not a job you do for the glory, Bill. What you're doing is you're just an amazing citizen and fighting for this job, fighting for this state, fighting for this town, and that's why you're going to be wonderful. We know you as a man of character. We know you as a man of judgment. And you've got a business background. You got the smarts to make a difference in this job. And, you know, as John knows, we also want somebody, and Drew knows, you need somebody that is a strong, independent voice here in Town Hall, ready to take on the reforms and make the real changes. So I am proud to be here for Bill Grad. Welcome, everybody.
Well, good morning, everyone. I really appreciate you being here on a sweltering day. And my wife insisted that we move indoors, so she didn't want her baked goods to wilt in the sun. So if you haven't tried any of those baked goods, all homemade, and I'm sure they're all very tasty. And if you don't eat them, then I have to eat them when I go back later. I want to thank Dick Bergstresser for being here, Peter Berg, looking around the room, some former office holders, Alma Rutgers, former chair of the DTC, probably missed a few people in here. But all good friends, Howard Richmond, who ran for office in the 149th district, which is my district. And I want to thank you all for being here. John and Drew, your being in front with me here this morning is very important to me. And I really appreciate your being here with us. Now, I was truly honored in May and then last evening to be unanimously selected to be the tax collector nominee of the Democratic Party. It was just 2 years ago when I decided to run for office, but I decided to run for office after the convention and had to take a primary. And that was a truly remarkable experience, that primary. We had, in fact, my friend and former treasurer Peter Berg and former BET head is also here with us this morning. That was an incredible experience. We gathered over 600 signatures in about a 2-week period of time, had over 50 volunteers who went door to door and called up all their friends and relatives. And I'm not sure that anyone in Greenwich ever had a number of signatures like that passed in for any reason. And it got me very excited. And I said, well, this is a really great business. I'm going to run, and I've got all sorts of credentials, and I'm the boy on the top of the hill, and everything good is going to happen. And I enjoyed that till about November 3rd or November 4th. And there was no doubt the electorate voted, and they voted not unanimously, but they voted that my opponent, who's now the tax collector, should be the victor in that race. I take small pleasure only in the fact that I came as close as any Democrat to beating his opponent or her opponent at that time. But it wasn't close enough. And I told everyone afterwards that when they asked would I do this again, I said, well, I really enjoyed it. It was really a lot of fun. I met a lot of people, and people were so nice and worked so hard for me, and it was really a humbling experience. But no, I wasn't going to run again. I didn't see any way that I could prevail. And then about a year ago, certain things came to pass in the course of town hall governance, and I said, well, maybe I should start considering this again. And I gave it some thought, and then I said, well, you know what, let me go take the coursework that tax collectors are required to take in order to be certified. So I've done half of the coursework. You have to take 4 courses. I've taken 2. My teachers tell me I'm the only person who's ever come from the regular public. Otherwise, I'm not in the tax collector's office. I'm not in the assessor's office. Those are the people who normally take this course in order to get certified. So that was neat, and I've enjoyed the courses very much. And I think that when I get elected on my 3rd year, after you've taken the courses and you've served for 3 years, you then can become a certified tax collector. So I'm well on the way of doing that, and it's actually been a lot of fun. Believe it or not, it actually has been a lot of fun. I also found as I started to take the course, that many of you and others like you from all walks of life, as they say, both Democrats and other parties and unaffiliated, suggested that there was such an uproar in town and so much conversation about the office that it might be well for me to reconsider to run again. And that was the edge. That's all I needed, was a little more push, and here I am this morning. You know, the tax collector collects close to $300 million. We have the largest grand list in the state of Connecticut, and that $300 million is not small change. And the responsibility to collect that money is a dear one. And we've seen that it's not as easy, you might say, as it looks. That people often think, well, anyone can be the tax collector. After all, the last several that we've had have served for many, many years. They didn't have a background in management or finance or anything like that, and they've done excellent jobs. Well, the times have changed, and we need someone to bring us into the 21st century in running our tax office. Now, I will say, and I know that I will keep to this campaign will be devoid of partisanship, at least from my side. We're only going to run on the issues and qualifications. And I promise to make the office an efficient, clean, timely, I think timely is the word, a timely operation. And I will do that once I'm served in the office. Now, there's been debate in the last time we ran through, and Jim Lash put forward an op-ed piece, I think in October of 2 years ago, when he suggested that, gee, there's some cost savings that could be found in the tax department. I think the tax department has very roughly, I'm not exactly sure the exact number, but roughly a $500,000 to $600,000 bill to pay to operate this department that collects $300 million. In Jim's suggestions, he said, well, we could take 3 of those people and we could farm them out and take the other 3 people and we can put them into another department and the people can be cross-trained and everything will be hunky-dory. And I responded to that at that time, and my response is the same today. To be a true manager, one doesn't normally decide what the answer is and then go ahead and prove that answer and make it happen. What one does is go in and take the scientific method. You gather your evidence, you analyze it, and then you make decisions from that. And that's exactly what I would do in the office. I wouldn't run it as it's always been run. I wouldn't run it in any different way from how it's been run. I would go in and make my decisions based on what I found in the office at the time I served. There's also been a lot of talk over the years that the office should be, and some friends have said I shouldn't raise this issue, but the office should be appointed rather than elected. You may not know this, but about half the tax collectors in the state of Connecticut are elected, and the other half are appointed. And they all run 169 towns and tax districts, all seem to run decently, and there's no one way to do this. My opinion is that there are so few offices that one has a chance to vote on in this town of Greenwich that it stands to reason that an extra office to vote for gives the citizens an extra choice. If someone's doing a good job, they should be rewarded by staying in the office. But if they're not doing a good job, the electorate should see that, and they should make a change. And I'm confident that the electorate will see it that way in any case. I'm not highly dedicated to it. If the town were to make a change in the future and I'm in the office, I would not oppose it. I would listen to reason and put myself behind whatever I thought was best at that time. I want to note that the predecessor of the incumbent, Lou Caravella, served 13 or 14 years in the role of tax collector. And when he ran the department, it ran smooth as silk. Smooth as silk. Never any questions about what was happening in that department, and he treated everyone with dignity and respect. And my aim and goal would be to do just as well as Lou Caravella did in his time in office. And that's what I would pledge to you that I would try to do. I want to put in a plug now for a little advertisement. We have a website. We didn't have that 2 years ago. Progress has come to the Grad campaign. It's billgrad.com. It's not tough to remember. If you know me, you know the website, billgrad.com. And there's a lot of good information on there. I've got 4 wonderful interns who have helped out with my campaign, and 3 of them are going to go off to college, but I'm getting to do as much work as I can possibly do. You'll see them with the tags around the room: Jack Applebaum, David Finkelstein, Maddie Abbott, and Ellis Kim. Recognize what they're doing. And Ellis is going to have to be a good learner because she's the one who's remaining. She still has another year to go in high school, but she's off to a great start. I also want to put a plug in for volunteers. I mentioned that 2 years ago we had 50 people who appeared on my doorstep overnight. And we need those same 50 people, if not others, to make up to 50 people to do the campaign work, which can be a lot of fun. I think those of you who are here have done a lot of campaign work in your time, and I welcome you to our campaign again. We are having a kickoff volunteer supper at our house. If this entices anyone to become a volunteer, it will be well worth it, I'm sure. But next Wednesday evening at 812 Lake Avenue, we are having a kickoff for our volunteers. We've sent out an invitation. If you didn't get one, give me a call, and we'll make sure that you get an invitation by email. That's all I have to say this morning. I really appreciate you all being out here. It makes me feel good, and I know that it's going to be a great year for the Democrats and a great year for Bill Grad.
Good job. You're right.